amazing. Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited that you're here. I was actually in the middle of ingredient prepping for the week, but there were 3 recipes that I really wanted to share in today's video. 2 being some fresh juice recipes. Well, 1 is actually a fresh juice. I'll be recreating my viral green juice that I shared about a year ago. And the second one is homemade walnut milk, or as my granny would call it, walnut juice. And then the third one is going to be a no waste recipe using the pulp from the walnut milk. I am going to be using my juicer, which if you've been here, you know that I use this thing pretty frequently, especially to make my homemade dairy-free milk. So I've actually been using Hurom juicers for about 3 years now, but the latest one I've been using is their H70 model. And before we actually get into the juice, I do want to just quickly share some of my favorite things about the juicer that I think if you are on the hunt for a new juicer, a juicer that lasts, a juicer that not only looks aesthetically pleasing, but also really works. Some of my favorite things about the juicer is that it's really easy to put together. It feels like I'm putting together a few Legos, but then when I actually go to clean the juicer, it is so easy to clean. And then when I go to like make my fresh juice or my dairy-free milk or some ginger and turmeric shots, every time I've noticed that Hurom juicers in general, but especially this one, which is the H70, gets the pulp so dry. And I want to go through everything that I'll be using for this fresh juice. This is similar to the green juice that I posted on YouTube Shorts a while ago. I call it my viral green juice, and that reel has over 1 million views, but we're going to recreate that today with a couple tweaks to it based off suggestions that I received to really take this juice to the next level. So I'm using yellow kiwis, which are packed with vitamin C. I'm using celery, which is known to aid inflammation, and it's also high in vitamin A, C, and K. Adding cucumber for hydration and vitamin K. Ginger for its digestive and anti-inflammatory properties. And then these last 2, I did not add these to the juice last time, but a lot of people suggested that kale would taste better in the green juice. So I wanted to see what the hype was all about. So I have some curly kale here, which is known to help fight inflammation. And I have a lemon here because someone suggested that when we actually go to enjoy the fresh juice, that we should squeeze some lemon on top to add another layer of flavor to the fresh juice. So if you notice, I really didn't have to cut the veggies and the fruit up into really small pieces. And I would say that these are bigger than what you would typically put inside of a juicer. And I actually just sliced these in half versus having to chop them up really small. I'm gonna go ahead and do the celery. Just add all of that in there. Throwing in my kiwi, and then last but not least, our kale. Now I'm gonna add my ginger. I'm the queen of reusing a good pasta jar, so I'll be using these jars that I already had to store the fresh juice. And before I move on to the walnut milk, I do want to give this a little taste test. Ooh, the lemon, it did it. Now it is a green juice. It is a little thicker than like normal green juice because we added the kiwi, which does have a thicker juice, but it's really good. It's mildly sweet. So if you want something that is sweeter, less green, definitely add a green apple. But this is really delicious. Remove this. This is all clean and good. So I'm gonna set this aside. Roll up these sleeves. Take that apart, take this out, open up the chamber, scrub in here what I need to clean out. Now I'm about to make my walnut milk, and honestly, I don't think people realize, or maybe they do, I don't know. But I was not aware for a while that you could actually make dairy-free milk using the juicer. When I tell you, it made making my dairy-free milk so much easier. So for the walnut milk, I used 2 cups of walnuts that I soaked in water overnight. I want this to have flavor, so I'm gonna add a splash of vanilla extract. I always add a good pinch of salt, and then whatever sweetener you prefer to use, but I'll sweeten that after we juice the walnuts. And you see how dry that pulp was? I'm actually not gonna throw the pulp for this one away because I wanna use it for a zero waste recipe. And I'm really excited. So our walnut milk is all done, and although, again, the juicer did a great job at removing a large amount of the pulp, I still like to use a strainer to ensure I get all of the pulp. I know some people don't mind a little bit of pulp in their dairy-free milk, but I gotta get it all out. I'm gonna add some vanilla extract and then some sweetener. We're about to try this too. That is good. You know what? Walnut milk might be a new favorite. And it's also high in omegas as well. I decided I wanted to make us a little dessert to have for the week. It's probably only gonna last us a few days, but we'll see. But I wanted to make us like a healthy dessert, so I'm going to use this pulp in a berry crumble. So I have all of my fruit in here. Squeeze some lemon juice on top of it. That's about 3 tablespoons of the sweetener, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, and then give that a good mix. You want to mix it up really well. Rolled oats, a full cup of the walnut pulp, and just add that in here. And then I'm also gonna add about 2 tablespoons of flour, 3 tablespoons of sweetener, a little pinch of salt, and then about 2 to 3 tablespoons of softened butter. This is the crumble, which is what we're gonna put on top of the berries. You wanna spread it out so that it coats all of the berries. This is what it looks like before. So I have the oven preheating to 350 degrees. We're gonna put the crumble in for about 45 minutes to an hour. Just keep a close eye on it to make sure it looks good and it's not burning. So while that's in the oven, I'm going to kind of clean it up a little bit. If you are interested in getting a juicer and you are wanting it to be a high quality juicer, I could not recommend the Hurom juicers enough. If you have been interested in getting a new juicer, you can actually use my code SHAKAYLA10 and get 10% off your very own Hurom juicer. As a reminder, I've been using the H70 juicer in case you want to get the exact one that I have. That was absolutely worth doing the hot chew. Oh my gosh, that was so delicious. This right here, and the walnut pulp really works well in here. I can even imagine using the rest of that walnut pulp in granola. Yeah, this is so good. And it's a zero waste recipe as well. This is delicious. Be sure to check the description box for the 3 recipes that I shared in this video. Again, check out the Hurom juicer and you can get 10% off if you use my code SHAKAYLA10. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I had a ton of fun recording it, and I will see you next week. Bye. So good.